Happy Friday! It's Fridays with Tiff on my YouTube channel, Adulting with Tiffney Necole, where I am Tiff and I'm trying to stay afloat on this thing called life. Who else trying to stay afloat? Sis, you feel me? I want to know where you are this week. Are you staying afloat on top of life? Are you drowning? Or like you sinking right now, sis? Let me throw you a buoy, sis, if you need help, okay? Wave your flag, your SOS flag. I'll come save you, okay? So I am personally drowning this week. I have PCOS. I was recently diagnosed this year, and it took forever to get me a diagnosis anyways, but I'll tell you guys about that in one of my other videos. But I wanted to tell you guys that my mood is really off. I don't have a good appetite. Like, oh my gosh, it's really bad. So I have been a month without birth control and Mirena. I had the Mirena, the IUD in, and it really messed up my life. So this is all Mirena's fault that we're gonna talk about today. In my past, I had had a bad experience when I had the NuvaRing in, and since then I haven't really been scared about birth control because it really changed my life in a bad way. Like, the side effects of NuvaRing that I had was it would make me really drowsy to the point where like I had anxiety and I could not drive. Like, it was really bad. Now meanwhile, like when I was younger or before this having birth control, like I would drive like long distances. Let's drive to Atlanta this week. Okay, well, let me get in the car and let me drive to Atlanta, 4 hours with no problem. When I got the NuvaRing in, like, it was really bad. Like, I started having anxiety and I would like not trust myself. I felt like I was not in control. So I had an experience where I was leaving a Lil Duval comedy show in the Carolinas, and I was driving back to Charlotte, which was what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like got on the road and could not drive. Like, I literally had to turn around, and I freaked out and had to stay in a hotel. Like, ever since then, like, I started having anxiety. When my period was coming on, like, I would have confusion, drowsiness. Like, it was really bad to where I couldn't even stay awake. And one day I remember driving on the road, and like I just was not sure if I was gonna make it home. Ever since then, I stopped taking birth control. You'll hear more about me having the IUD. So I diagnosed here in, I think it was early this year. Like every other doctor, they'll say, hey, we're going to recommend you get on some type of birth control, the IUD particularly, to help manage your hormones. And I take a lot of natural supplements already, but my periods were super heavy and I had a lot of inflammation. And so like I was at the point where I was wanting to just test out birth control again, but a different type of birth control, just to see if it would be different. Because I was suffering like the week before my period, like my mood would change. And then it got to a point where when my period was on, like I could barely walk. My feet were swollen up, like my legs. Like, it was bad. And like people around me didn't understand. It just got really bad. And I had been going through that for a long time. And I was just tired. At that point, I just wanted to be done with my period, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like the amount of pain that I was in, and it was like every 3 weeks, and the mood swings, wasn't as bad, but it was just like, I know I had to go hard, working out, eating good for 3 weeks straight, because when that 4th week comes, I'm done. Like, I lose my appetite during my period. I am in a lot of pain. Like, I just don't want to do things that I would normally do. So I got the Mirena put in, I think it was May of 2021, and I was unsure about it, but I was like, you know, let's try, you know, I'll try it for a few months, you know, at least 6 months, and just kind of see how it goes. Well, I had watched videos on people who actually got the IUD inserted, and they were like, oh, it's not gonna be painful, you know, a little pinch here and, you know, whatever. Went in, got the Mirena inserted. Now, mind you, I did not go to my doctor because she doesn't see patients on Fridays. She sees her pregnant patients on Fridays, and I wasn't pregnant, so I was like, you know, she couldn't see me. So I was like, so I was like, you know what? I'm off on Fridays. Let me just go to her her colleague. So her colleague inserted the IUD. Okay. So I'm thinking like afterwards, I'm going to be able to, you know, do whatever, you know, run my errands or whatever. Child. When I got the Mirena put in, I was man down for the rest of the day. Like, I was in so much pain. And they recommend you to place it in like the week of your period. And I did have to take some medications, I guess, to help with, I guess, the pain or insertion of the IUD. But anyways, so I'm walking out of the doctor's office, and I called my sister. I said, I am man down for the rest of the day. Like, I literally had ordered me some food and called it a day. I literally laid in bed all day. It was so painful. Second thing that I did not like about the IUD was when I went back for my follow-up with my doctor, she could not find the string. So there's a string. So like the IUD is like a T-shaped object or whatever, and it's placed inside of you to prevent pregnancies or whatever. But there's a string that's attached. So whenever they try to remove it, it'll be easy for them to just pull the string and it comes out. Well, the doctor that actually did the insertion, she cut the string too short, and so when my doctor did a follow-up with me, she could not find the string. So I'm over here like, what? Then she goes to say, we're gonna have to you're gonna have to do an ultrasound just to make sure it's in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, that doctor's visit literally was what, 2.5 hours, because of the fact that she could not find the string on the Mirena, and I was really upset. So then she goes to say, well, if we can't, you know, take it out manually, you know, when it's time for you to take it out, then you might have to get put under for you to get it removed. And I'm thinking like, sign number 2, I should not have gotten Mirena. In 2 months time of me having the IUD, like the first month wasn't bad, but the second month, like I realized I had gained weight. I had gained like 10 pounds. Then when I went back for the follow-up, she goes to say, oh, we found more cysts on your ovaries. And I'm like, well, they weren't there like 2 months ago or a month ago. So I'm like, okay. And I know that with the IUD, sometimes it does cause cysts. I know they, you know, sometimes go away, but still, like, no. And then the thing that really got me was the drowsiness the week of my period. You know, I've had a bad experience with birth control before. So with that, you know, the side effects that I explained earlier, but it really was bad. Like a week and a half, I was drowsy during the day, couldn't go to sleep at night. I was scared to drive because it was like I wasn't really seeing clearly. Well, the Mirena got my body out of whack. Yeah, it was more the weight gain. It was more the weight gain, the cysts, and the drowsiness that really, really bothered me. Like I had tried B12, B vitamins, whatever. Nothing worked. Like I was trying everything to stay awake and nothing worked, and I was very upset. I was like, oh my gosh. I even called my doctor and was like, hey, this birth control is making me really drowsy. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want birth control. And she was like, oh, just follow your PCP because that's not a symptom of birth control. And I don't know. And I was like, what? Like, you can't help me? So like she just told me to follow my PCP, and I was like, you know what? I want it out. I want my IUD out like now. Like now that I'm off it, I gotta lose the 10 pounds. I gotta see what the side effects are, like removing the birth control, because I know my hormones are gonna be out of whack for, you know, a month or two or whatnot until I level them out. And then like now, like my period is not on time, so I had to figure out how to get back my body. But like, I should have just decided not to do the birth control. It made it worse. I'm upset that I gained 10 pounds, but also like I am to the point to where like I've been dealing with PCOS before I was actually diagnosed, and I just feel better now that I know what it is. I'm really considering like weight loss surgery or lipo or like something. I eat really good. I try to at least work out 2 to 3 times a week, and like I do drink water. I drink one of these like every day. I should be able to drink 2 because 2 is a gallon, but sometimes I get really busy. But it's just like I eat really good for me to not even lose weight. So now I gotta figure out how to lose this weight and manage my hormones now. I'm just over it. Drop down in the comments, PCOS sufferers. Let me know what you guys have done. Let me know like what has the doctor prescribed you to kind of help with weight loss, you know, your diagnosis of PCOS, because like I'm just tired. I'm actually gonna go see a new primary doctor, and I'm gonna see a endocrinologist soon. So I'll keep you posted on what they say. But like, drop down in the comments and let me know if you want me to do the supplements that I take for PCOS, and especially for period pain. I am definitely going to do more research and figure out what my regimen is when my period is actually on. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video, okay? Bye, friend. You gonna come back, right? You gonna come back to see me?